Into the news. In Apocalypse After Now news, Queenslanders. You know you're fucked when. Okay, when you get this news report comes out for your neighborhood, it's all over.
It's bad
seriously
news.
Yeah, everyone will not be laughing at you for carrying the welding goggles around then, okay? It's going to be fucking on. Queenslanders need to adopt a survivor mentality and learn to fend for themselves in storms and brush fires. The state's disaster response chief warns emergency workers fear unprepared households will again swamp services as the storm and brush fire seasons heat up. You know, just leave us alone. Emergency Management Queensland Director of Disaster Management, Mike Chaplin, said a reliance on technology and city services meant urban Queenslanders were losing the ability to help themselves in a time of crisis. Yeah, what do you mean you want fire hydrants? Jeez.
Come on.
Fucking an ambulance? Are you fucking serious? You know?
We've only got so many of these things. Come on.
You knew outside was on fire. Why did you go outside? You know? He said while emergency organizations would continue to assist households needed a wake-up call and how to stop falling into a woe is me mentality. Oh.
Wow.
My world
that
is broken.
Funny.
Woe
is me mentality.
Outside is on fire. Brush fire cascades my environment. Eeyore, you know, Homer, walking through Fallout, you know, seriously. In a very large event, we have finite resources in Australia, and it's going to take time to get to people. So, you know, your 911 call is important to us. But please.
Please continue to hold.
Please continue to hold. Your average hold time is 7 to 3-5 hours. Then he says, so after the thing is over, what are you expecting? Your power might be out for a bit, so you might not have a fridge. You may not have any fresh food, so you might have to have some tinned food. It's the initiative in thinking through things and saying, yes, I can do something about this, rather than, no, I'm waiting for someone else to provide. At the center
if they did this in the U.S., people would go ballistic on this news report. Like, they would go, what? You're not providing for me? Oh, my God, I've got to do it for myself? Like, seriously,
I think
they
only
would.
certain people would. I think for a lot of people in, like, the southern states, it would be Thursday.
They'd be going, hell yeah.
They'd be like, Bubba, go get the truck. At the center of the victim mentality is a failure of households to have action plans in place. In the week that followed in the massive storm that hit the Gap last year, the main emergency number was swamped with more than 23,000 calls. People, fucking disaster.
Everything's on fire.
Stop straining the network. A recent survey by NERMA and the Queensland State Emergency Services revealed nearly 2/3 of Queenslanders' household were unprepared for the storm season, and that more than 1 in 5 did not have emergency kits or provisions. Now, to be fair, you know, what the fuck? Okay, really.
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Shut up, dude. You're living in a shithole. Like, it's Australia.
No, that's totally true. They should be prepared for this.
Goddamn sidearm I could fucking carry. Wow.
If you live in the Midwest in the U.S., you're going to be hit by tornadoes. You should be prepared for tornadoes.
Well,
if you live in a flood area, you should be prepared for floods.
I mean, you probably dig that shit. You know, if I lived in a GNS...
If you live in Northern California... No. You be prepared for brush fires, or, you know, Australia, be prepared for the brush fires.
Well, you know,
you don't move to an area because it's cheap and then complain because things are burning down every year. Well, yeah, that's what they do. That's why it's cheap, because you have to rebuild your goddamn house every year.
So, you know, anyway, they have these handy survival tips for the noobs out there in Australia who can't handle a little bit of cyclonic drought, radioactive dust storms, and fucking brush fires. All you noobs, fucking whiners, here you go. What you do?
Whiners.
You fucking whiners. Everyone who needs to call the ambulance to get the sand out of your vaginas, listen up. Prepare your household emergency plan and make sure every family member knows what to do in possible scenarios. Nominate an evacuation point. I love this.
How do you nominate a point?
That's such
Step up, soldier.
You! What's your name? Paris! Hi, Paris! You are now going to nominate an evacuation point. Make a list of household emergency contacts. Detail medical conditions and plans for dealing with pets in an emergency. Where the fuck is the cat? The house is on fire. The world is a tornado. Where's the fucking cat? Make sure every family member knows which numbers to call and how to tune the radio into the ABC. Step up. You have 10, count them, 10 seconds to tune in this Mark 1 radio to the ABC. Move now, go. Dad, I hate this. Anyway, prepare your emergency kit, including a battery-powered radio, medical prescriptions, important documents, food, water, and blankets. Which is kind of funny because they put food, water, and blankets on the end, which is quite large. You know, it's like, so all you need is food, water, and blankets, and you're pretty much good to go, which is essentially Clue. If you put somebody
Just some food, water, blankets.
Yeah, if you drop somebody in a junkyard that was full of nothing but food, water, and blankets, they would survive. If they had piles
this junkyard's so soft, it's full of blankets.
It'd be a weird dystopian Beatles movie, but there it is, you know?
That's true.
You know, prepare your house for evacuation. What? Prepare your house. We're going to fuck off.
House, we got to go, house. Come on, house.
We are leaving. Okay. We would you lock up? Where would you go? What would you leave behind? So have the shit that you want to keep picked out. So basically,
left behind.
Have an AWOL
all the atheists
bag.
were left behind.
That's like an AWOL bag. Bravo. That's like have the trailer. Know what fits in the trailer. Know your neighbors. Hello, neighbor. You may all be reliant on them. That may be a lifesaver in some cases. Like, holy
we
gladiator.
Didn't prepare.
You know,
Sean, I didn't prepare.
Fence, but if it comes through, we'll only have a better chance if we stick together. You know, like, holy crap.
See, if you have Sean for a neighbor, know Sean as your neighbor. He'll be prepared, even if you aren't.
Yeah, well, the first thing that happens if the apocalypse happens is if I don't know you and you're coming on my property, you're getting shot. And
he was a zombie.
And like, just because you're with Cimm, that's not going to save your ass. Just so you know. Understanding what effects of disasters might be in your area. Is your area prone to storms, cyclones, flooding, or bushfires? Does the hand of God regularly scratch the planet in your location? If so, you may want to move. Perhaps get the fuck out. That would be the good plan. You know, so that's what the government says. It's basically like, we're busy. You know, stop.
Well, when the whole country's on fire, everybody wants your help.
Outside is on fire. What do you do?
Yeah,
have a backup. Right. Make sure you have a generator that runs on batteries so you can use your PlayStation inside your Geodome.
I'm surprised they said battery-powered radio rather than hand-cranked radio. I would go for a hand-cranked radio. That lasts forever.
You want to do the PlayStation thing with a hand crank? Wow.
No, not the PlayStation.
Well,
hand-cranked PlayStation.
Well,
no, the radio. The radio.
I mean,